Thank you very, very much. I want to first and foremost, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. It's a big moment. I want to thank my family, especially my wife Mary, who's been with me since the start of this campaign, who's worked very hard alongside me, and my immediate family, my extended family, and I want to thank Team Rankin, my family, a coalition of neighbours, friends of friends from every constituency in the province, from every valley, from every city, from towns across Nova Scotia. Tonight's win is our win, and I could not have done this without all of you. I want to thank Randy and Labi for stepping up and sharing their ideas and their passion for Nova Scotia and Nova Scotians. And thank you to all delegates, long-standing members of the party and new members who are attracted to this race. Liberal delegates have tonight written the opening lines of Nova Scotia's next chapter, and I am deeply humbled to stand before you now as the leader of our party and Nova Scotia's next premier. In 2013, I got into politics to help unleash the potential of my diverse, vibrant, and growing community of Timberlea Prospect. Like my father before me, I felt compelled to public service, a Rankin family tradition driven by an innate sense of duty to help people build a better future for themselves, their communities, and their families. Thank you to Stephen McNeil. I was given that chance to stand up for those constituents who placed their trust in me and later to serve our province and cabinet. Tonight, I owe Premier McNeil my eternal gratitude for his confidence in me over the last 7 years and his 14 years of leadership of this party. On behalf of all of us in our Liberal family, thank you for your service to this province, as well to your wife, Andrea, and to Jeffrey and Colleen. During the challenges of the past year, all Nova Scotians were able to see what myself and our colleagues saw each and every week at the caucus table: a steadfast focus on doing what is right. My entire time in political life was with Stephen. He was there for the community of Timberlea Prospect many times on difficult issues. And for our province, his political courage as the Premier has never wavered. As the new leader of the Nova Scotia Liberal Party, I want to ensure that members have a voice in what comes next. Leadership is about listening and learning. Listening to you, Nova Scotians, whose lives are impacted by the decisions government makes on your behalf. Learning from our past and applying those lessons to tomorrow's success. I will lead our province through this challenging time with these same values. After all, in a time like this, in the grips of a global pandemic, with its related economic impact and the looming threat of the climate crisis, we need all hands on deck. Job number one, continue Nova Scotia's standout performance with managing COVID-19. At the same time, though, we need a plan for an economic recovery that will position Nova Scotia with a competitive advantage that leverages innovation and recognizes the economic power of a growing population. Nous devons trouver le juste milieu entre une économie forte et des programmes sociaux adaptés. C'est avec de solides politiques que nous serons prêts pour la prochaine campagne électorale et que nous pourrons assurer l'avenir de la Nouvelle-Écosse et le renforcement de nos diverses communautés, les communautés acadiennes and all distinct communities, embracing the increasingly diverse makeup of our province. C'est ce qui font les libéraux, because that's what Liberals do. I'm deeply honored this evening to be Nova Scotia's 29th Premier. I want to use this platform to say that although I was chosen by Liberals, I will be a Premier for every Nova Scotian. And every Nova Scotian has a role in building our future. Whether you're a union member or a business owner, whether you live in downtown Halifax or in a rural community, whether you work in an office, on the land, or on the sea, or if you work or are a student or are retired. I'll be calling on your skills, your experience, and your expertise to guide our decisions. This past year has been tough. With every heartbreak, there was an additional sadness of being unable to reach out to a loved one, or hug someone in sympathy, or even honor a life well lived by attending a funeral. But the spirit of Nova Scotians rose to every challenge when the best contribution we could make was to stay home. We stayed the Blazes home. We created a Facebook group called Nova Scotia Kitchen Party that brought our music throughout the world. Remember that businesses voluntarily shut their businesses down early on in the pandemic. And every day Nova Scotians performed hundreds, if not thousands, of acts of kindness, like getting their neighbors groceries, giving their neighbors a call to loved ones, and finding ways to reach out to others. And it is in that spirit that gives me confidence that Nova Scotia will emerge from this crisis stronger than ever. We've learned some important things over the past difficult months, and some of them need our immediate attention and investment. The pandemic further highlights the disparities that exist in our province, for which we have a duty to correct. And we have just begun the long-awaited journey of dismantling systemic racism. It will take difficult conversations to reverse those historic and current injustices, but we owe it to every Nova Scotian. The world is changing. When car manufacturers are starting to move beyond just having gas and diesel-powered engines, when the largest financial organizations are moving their investments to companies that put environmental progress at the center of their company, Nova Scotia has the opportunity to seize this moment, an opportunity to create jobs in every part of the province. When technology allows a job in Halifax to be performed in Mabu or Matagan, when our population is growing and growing younger, we will support local entrepreneurs leading the way in advancing world-changing research and ensure the sustainability of traditional sectors for our economy for future generations. The challenges of COVID, including the emergent variants and our vaccine distribution, will be the primary focus over the next weeks and months ahead. And while we manage those challenges, the opportunity of shaping an inclusive, low-carbon economy can be planned at the same time. And I entered this race with an ambitious agenda to grasp that opportunity. I want to thank you for placing your confidence in me. It will be an honor of my lifetime to serve as your Premier. Nova Scotia's next chapter begins now. Thank you, and good night.
Congratulations.
Thank you. How's everyone doing tonight? It's a different convention, isn't it? Thanks for joining us.
You looked a little shell-shocked up there live.
Well, it's a monumental moment for me and my family. It's been a long campaign, nearly half a year since we started this, and it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I'm used to winning campaigns, 2 of them myself and 7 that my father won, but this one means a lot. It's a monumental task, and I'm up for it, but it's an emotional moment.
Were you surprised by the results? How close it was?
No, we've had positive reaction through every part of the province, which I think was our strength. Lots of support within the caucus that have worked very hard. Lots of support from different communities. So I thought we were going to win, and we did.
Were you surprised it was as close as it was with Labi?
I mean, our numbers, our work, I think we had a team that worked really hard, and I thought we were going to win. I didn't know if it was going to be the first or second ballot, and it's hard work pays off, and I think it's because of the team. They've worked really hard for me, and they They really believe in the vision and where they think that our party needs to go and where our government needs to go and where we should be moving next for the next into the 2020s and the policy that I've brought forward in the race.
Mr. Rankin, what do you think the message is from rank-and-file Liberals that they've chosen? I think you're the second youngest premier-designate so far. What does it mean?
I think it's the time for the next chapter, and obviously younger people want to see action in a number of files that I spoke to, but the Liberal Party has always been a pragmatic party and one that really valued social progress. We've demonstrated that we are the strongest fiscal managers in the province, and building on the progress made, we were strong leading into this pandemic, and I've articulated a vision of where we can go next. I think that Liberals by and large and Nova Scotians want to see us going down the path that I presented.
Were you the most different from Stephen McNeil with the three when you look at the policy?
I think that Steve McNeil has done a tremendous job. He's shown more political courage than any premier in our history. Like I said, I've served alongside of him for my entire career in politics. I've learned from the premier. He's stood up to special interest groups, and we've managed to look out for all Nova Scotians. That's going to continue under my watch. But this is about what the next generation and what people want to see next. They want to see action on climate change. They want to see us continuing down the path of righting historic wrongs. He believes in those things too, and I'm just proposing that we start taking those steps forward together. And the party, I think, by and large, wants to see action in those areas.
What do you think the key to your victory was?
I think it's just about making sure that we listen to people. I go back to when I launched my campaign, I was very clear about my vision and how we move forward together. But listening and learning is a big part of my leadership style, and I think the greatest leaders in the world are ones that are willing to learn. And I think that as we continue to be lifelong learners, as we learn from historic wrongs, as we try to do things better, the Liberal Party and liberalism is a project that continues forward. And we're going to make lives better as we move forward. We have a strong foundation. I'm looking forward to leading our party into what's next.
Are you looking at differentiating yourself from McNeil, and if so, how?
No, it's not about that. It's about what's next. It's about the next evolution of our party and of our government. Again, the Premier is a mentor to me, and we've done tremendous work together, and it wasn't always easy. But we have as good a foundation as any province in the country right now to build on. And I said we're going to be the first province in Canada to be net carbon neutral. We can do that by working together and growing the economy at the same time. That's what Liberals need to stand up to do.
You talked about generational change. Can that message sell beyond the Liberal family to the rest of the province, and how?
Absolutely. I've been strong, if you look at the results, in communities across the whole province. Rural communities will continue to grow. This is an opportunity. Through the pandemic, we've seen that technology allows people to work from home when they have a business or an employer in the city. We can continue to build our traditional sectors that are our backbone of rural economies. I've managed a tough forestry file that goes the same with agriculture, mining, fisheries. These are the backbones of the economy, and we can work together to make sure that they're here and that they're here for the long run, for generations to come. We can do that while simultaneously like the ocean technology sector, clean tech, knowledge-based economy, continuing to digitize. This is our competitive advantage, and we need to seize this moment.
How will close to a $500 million deficit hamper some of your optimistic projections and plans?
Well, I think that we need to continue to be strong fiscal stewards of the public purse, but we are making sure that we invest in people, we stimulate economic growth, and that was a cornerstone of my campaign, was to make sure that when we do that, that it's fair for all Nova Scotians, but that we respect the environment so that when we grow, that it is looking at decarbonizing the economy and that the infrastructure that we build is climate resilient. This is our opportunity. We can leverage opportunities from the federal government's program as well, and we're going to move forward together.
You now have a mandate from the Liberal Party. How long are you going to wait before you seek a mandate from Nova Scotians and run as the Liberal leader as the premier?
Well, up until tonight, I was focused on winning this race. Now I'm turning my attention to meeting with the leaders of the opposition to see where we have some mutual areas of interest, and we're going to go into this next legislative session with an ambitious agenda. As you know, I've proposed 4 or 5 pieces already in this campaign, a strong throne speech, a budget, and then we'll start to look at what's next for our government.
Do you expect to go in March 9th?
I don't expect to make a determination tonight on that.
Do you know when the transition is likely to happen? Have you had some preliminary discussions even before tonight about that?
I've had some discussions with some people that I have relationships with of what a transition will look like. I'm obviously now going to turn my attention to that tomorrow.
So, I'm sorry, just to nail that down. You don't know yet when you're going to be sworn in as premier?
No, I just know that the period of time that typically takes place is over a couple weeks. So I will be thankful to learn with the Premier what's taking place now. And meeting with Dr. Strang is going to be the top priority for me.
Do you feel you have an obligation to give Mr. Kousoulis and Mr. Delory comment?
I respect both of the Randy and Labi as well as my other colleagues. I'll be calling them tomorrow alongside all the other colleagues that I've served in cabinet with to determine their role. They've run a good campaign, and I look forward to working with them.
Do you see them in cabinet?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. En français, s'il vous plaît. Comment vous sentez-vous, comment vous réagissez à cette nouvelle?
Parce que je suis un candidat qui, je pense que le français c'est important pour parler quand tu veux, mais je suis pas totalement bilingue, mais j'ai pris l'émergent français, commence 7e année jusqu'à la fin de ma école. C'est important de parler français pour protéger et promouvoir la langue française et la culture acadienne. So I think it is important in your speeches and avec les discours to talk about our different cultures. It's just as important as promoting other cultures that are foundational to our province.
Êtes-vous surpris par les résultats?
Non, les résultats, je pense que c'est positif pour moi, et I will continue to do my best, and I think that the results speak for themselves.
And you're jumping into this in the middle of a pandemic, so I'm just wondering how you're feeling, and if you've already spoken with Dr. Strang, or you said you're speaking with him immediately?
I haven't spoke with him yet. I've been focused on this campaign. I think what's critical at this juncture is that a leader continues down the path that the Premier has set out, working alongside public health, not politicizing COVID-19, and making sure that the advice is taken and that we move forward on an evidence base, whether it's the restrictions or the rollout for vaccines. We have to keep our mind on what's happening with the variants in other provinces, and that'll be top of mind. That's job number 1.
We've already seen several longtime members of the party say they will not re-offer in the next election. Is that something that you're concerned of, or what's your message to the party in saying that it will be a new face of leadership and probably some new cabinet members as well?
Yeah, this is the next evolution for our party, and those that are not offering are friends of mine, and I wish them well in their future endeavors. They've served, many of them have served long before I came to the legislature, and I will be looking for strong candidates that believe in the vision that I put forward, that I think that Nova Scotians by and large want to see next. We have strong population growth, we have strong economic performance. Now is the time that we start taking the next step in how we grow our economy back stronger, more inclusive, and more low carbon.
Time for one more question.
The Premier talked about the need for unity, given the results and how tight it was between you and Mr. Kousoulis. Do you think that you will need that kind of unity to go forward, or do you see the Liberal Party in any way fractured following this?
I don't see any signs of fracturing. We're a strong party that believes in, we all believe in the values of moving forward, helping people that need it the most, growing on our strong population, promoting immigration, including strong economic performance, strong fiscal performance. That's going to continue, and both Labi and Randy will be a strong part of my team.
Thank you very much. We have to.
One more is okay. One more is okay.
You're 37 years old?
37. I'll be 38 in April.
38
Yeah.
And do you know whether you're the youngest premier in the history?
I believe Rodney was younger than me when he was elected.
And Mr. Rankin, was Dale Pomander your campaign manager?
Dale and Joanne were, yeah.
Joanne,
McRae, yes.
Do you know who's going to lead your transition team? Do you know anything about?
I prefer to speak to that in the near future. I have a number of people I've spoken to, and you'll be the first to know.
Okay, we gotta cut it off.
Forgive this, but some.
One more is okay. It's all right.
Outside of the region, I wonder what your relationship is to the famous Rankin family in Quebec.
Yeah, they're distant cousins of mine. I was happy to have Jimmy help me out with one of the videos. But if you're a Rankin from Malibu, then you're probably related somewhere along the line. So yeah. So thank you very much. I really appreciate all the questions tonight, and I look forward to taking some more questions really soon. Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Merci.